Gulp.
For starters, am I the only one who's always wondered why it's got "the" in front of its name? It's a weird trend in Isaac where sometimes items have a "the" or an "a" in front of them for some reason. Like, in this case, the sad onion. Why is it not just called sad onion? If it was consistent, items like dead onion or wire coat hanger would be called the dead onion or the wire coat hanger. Which I always just found weird. Anyway, the fact for this item is that using spin down dice on it causes it to disappear. Yep, instead of rolling around to the last ID, 732, which is Mom's ring by the way, it just disappears, leaving an empty item pedestal. How sad. A bonus fact for this item is that it's the very first item designed by Edmund for the original Isaac, which is likely why its item ID is 1. Lastly, this item is identical to the wire coat hanger, both given a 0.7 tiers up. It's an item based around opening your inner eye and transcending this reality, or whatever. There isn't actually much facts about this item, it's really cut and dry. The only real fact I could find is that specifically for Blue Baby and Tainted Blue Baby, the eye spawned from the inner eye as an X, like his other eyes. Yeah, it's... I'm sorry, I don't have anything for this one. Here's a fun one. Did you know Isaac actually has aura? No, seriously, you've seen it loads. If you get Curse of Darkness, it shows that Isaac has a white aura. I bring this up because if you have Spoonbender, it actually replaces his white aura with a purple one that is dimmer. It potentially makes Curse of Darkness harder, so hopefully you've been eating your carrots. Another fun one is this item is based on Uri Geller. Geller? I don't know. A stage magician. One of his trademark tricks being, well, spoonbending. Edmund referred to the guy as a scam artist, so we can assume Spoonbender isn't in the game out of respect for the art. Or the guy himself. Please tell me I'm not the only one that thought this item was a dog's head. Personally, I feel like the reason for this is that in the original Flash version, Cricket's head was actually referred to as Max's head, and was, well, a dog's head. Funnily enough, it's still referred to as Max's head in the game's files. The item itself is actually based on one of Edmund's cats, though the original item, Max's head, was also based on an animal in Edmund's life. This time though, it was a rabbit his sister had. I personally always wondered why he changed it to a dog. I feel like a rabbit would fit Isaac's whole theme and look and personality better personally, but what do I know? Here's one I actually didn't know. This item's sprite is based on a joke, that being a mirror cracking when someone ugly looks into it, which is likely another example of Isaac's low self-esteem. The luck down stat is based on the superstition that a broken mirror causes 7 years bad luck. Another fun fact is this item is the only one in the game to give a shot speed multiplier instead of a simple plus bonus. Also, one of the weirdest things is that if you have piercing tears and my reflection, you'll come to find your tears will only hit once. For some reason, the same tier can hit an enemy twice. Lastly, if you're like me, have you ever wondered what that weird symbol on Isaac's head is when he picks it up? It's simple. Edmund revealed that its shape is supposed to reference a boomerang, because the item makes his tears act like a boomerang.
And oh, this is extraordinary.
Isaac
Is pissing all over
his mother.
But will he have the pressure to slew
His mother.
away? Yes, he's done it.
Number 1 is just Isaac peeing on his enemies. Sniper has some fierce competition, it seems. An obvious fact is that when you pick this up, Isaac's tears are no longer shot from his face, but rather his waist. A stranger fact for this item is that in the original Binding of Isaac, number 1 would actually have a mini PhD effect, turning all range down pills into range ups. This was done to ensure the player had enough range to clear rooms, as certain rooms would become literally impossible without it. Unfortunately, this did not carry over to Rebirth, as rooms automatically open up after being in them for too long.
Nice throw!
I don't actually have any for this one. There isn't much trivia to go on. It's a simple stats up item that is a reference to the crown of thorns placed in Jesus' head. I suppose another fact I could bring up is that, for some reason, despite having no real change in Isaac's appearance, like blood or anything, the item turns Isaac's tears red for some reason.
Ha! You throw like a conscript!
Did you know Bobby and Maggie actually used to be identical, just with different sprites? However, in Repentance, that changed. Bobby has a higher tear rate, while Maggie has higher damage. What I bet you didn't know is that this has been in the original Isaac for years. Don't know why it didn't carry to Rebirth, but whatever. Also, this item, and by extension Blue Baby, is based on one of Edmund's original Flash games, Dead Baby Dress Up. Huh. Guess people were right when they said games were better back in the day. Just do this real quick. This item is kind of rare in a weird way. It can only be obtained through the shell game or by spin down dicing Hero of Flies. Some other fun facts for this item include that this item is a part of a group of 5 that actually counts towards 2 transformations. In this case, it counts towards Oh Crap and Duke of Flies. Another fact is that originally this item, alongside Tiny Planet and Brimstone, were planned to be hats for TF2. But ultimately were dropped due to Valve not wanting players running around with crap on their head. Well, clearly they didn't stick to that promise, as some of their newer hats are, well, pretty crappy. Halo of Flies was the first orbital item that was implemented into Isaac. It also shares its name with a level from Super Meat Boy. Another fact is that this item is in the Baby Shop item pool. Which, for those that are very worried about what that item pool is, don't worry, it's just an item pool used when Isaac has the Adoption Papers trinket. One Up is a Mario reference, obviously. But one thing you'll probably gloss over a lot is that it has a unique pickup sound. It is among a group of 3 that has a unique pickup sound.
Go! Let's go!
Another wacky wahoo reference. This item can rarely, and I mean rarely, drop from mushrooms. Another fun fact is that the item description just lies to your face. Despite saying all stats up, it doesn't buff luck, tears, or shot speed. Another thing that you may not have thought of was that the item's name may be literal. This item may literally just be magic mushrooms. Because, fun fact, that mushroom this is based on, and the same with Mario, is hallucinogenic. This item is also a part of that group of 5 items that count towards 2 transformations. In this case, it's Stompy and Fun Guy.
Hey, get away! Just get away from me, Peter! Hey, take it easy.
Isaac.
Nobody wants to hurt you, right, Joe?
Gotcha!
Ha! Hepatitis C!
Unfortunately, I don't got much for this one, though there is a theory that the virus is an STI. For starters, Lust drops this item, and I mean, look at him, he's bound to have one. Additionally, look at the sprite itself. The fluid in there is red, and it sort of looks like blood. Lastly, the item effect itself is, well, you go around touching people and they get poisoned.
Meningitis!
Did you know Roid Rage used to be fairly strong? Originally, Roid Rage gave a massive 0.6 speed, which was the highest in the game. Even now, with the highest being Mercury's at 0.4. Another really weird stat it gave was tear falling speed, which was a hidden stat that effectively gave your tear's height, and with enough of it, you could have a bargain bin spectral tear. Though in Repentance, that stat was just integrated into your range stat. This item is apparently based on a movie called Rising Arizona, specifically a remark about an orphan child with his heart born on the outside of his chest, which apparently left a lasting impression on Edmund, thus he incorporated it. Its size is also fairly accurate to Isaac's. Lastly, the item's official name isn't actually heart. It's less than 3, which is just the actual text itself, less than and 3. Raw Lever Sprite is used in Binge Eater Sprite. Okay, there it is. However, Raw Lever won't actually show up through Binge Eater, so I don't know why it's there.
Isaac! 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 Isaac!
For a very long time, Skeleton Key used to be the rarest item in the game, and there's still sort of a weird misconception that it still is. It's not in Repentance, however, as there's items like TM Trainer, Inner Child, and Echo Chamber which have lower weight values and only one item pull. Also, for context, weight in Isaac is simply the item's rarity and how likely it is to spawn. Items with a higher weight value, let's say 1, have a higher chance of spawning than an item with a weight of 0.5. The second fact is more of an observation, really. This item is obviously the key counterpart to $1 and Pyro, but I always wondered why keys never have a middle item. Coins have regular coins, then a quarter, then $1. Bombs have regular bomb drops, boom, then Pyro. Though keys only have key drops, then Skeleton Key. I guess you could count Sharp Key, maybe? Despite you not being able to see it 99% of the time, $1 does actually give you 100 pennies. This item is also like Skull as it's fairly rare, with it only being able to drop naturally from slot machines. However, it can also be a starting item for Eden, Spin Down Diced, or gotten using Death Certificate. This item is the much weaker version of Pyro, and despite Pyro giving you 4 fuses and 99 bombs, Boom gives you 1 fuse and 10 bombs. So the math doesn't really check out there. this item's description is a reference to Stephen King's It book. Its actual costume is just Isaac's head because Edmund thought it would be funny. It's also not really recommended to pick up Intruder with this item, because if you do, well, then you really do transcend to a different plane. This item's sprite is based off the same item from The Legend of Zelda, and does the same thing as well. The item itself will appear under your minimap. Okay, there it is. Though if you pick up the mind, it'll get overridden. Here we have the food speed round. Even Edmund doesn't know what lunch actually is. However, he states it's probably cat food, though it may also be dog food. In the original Isaac, you can see Max's name carved into the bowl, connecting it with Max's head. This one's actually just dog food. That's it. More dog food. It's also part of Binge Eater's sprite. Crap, I need something else. Well, I suppose something to consider is, why do they even have dog stuff in the first place? They only ever had Guppy, and we don't really see mention of a dog in-game anywhere in Rebirth. Did you know the label on the side there is actually meant to be Isaac? It's referencing the practice of advertising lost children on milk cartons. It's much more easy to see on the Forest Souls card. Also, while we're here, everyone knows what breakfasting is? Simple, it's a bug that happens when an item pool runs out. You see, when you pick up an item from an item pool, it gets permanently removed from that pool forever. So in runs that are likely to break the game / give you tons of items, let's say grade mode, you'll likely have seen breakfast start popping up. This is due to the fact that breakfast is the item that is used in place of an item pool that's ran out of items. One last thing I just found funny was that this item, despite being breakfast, typically the first meal of the day, is actually the last out of the food type items ID wise. Apparently this was supposed to be a reference to the original Legend of Zelda, where you had to feed meat to a hungry Gorizaya? Goriza. That's a bit of a stretch if you ask me. It is also, to my knowledge, the only item that shows up in Binge Eater that doesn't have the name of a type of meal. I'm putting these together because they are literally the same item with the same concept behind them, that do the same thing. Both of these are referencing abuse, i.e. hitting a child with a spoon or a belt, both of which Edmund revealed he was threatened with when he was younger. The speed up is due to Isaac running faster to try and avoid the abuse. I'm also putting these together as they all function pretty much identically given a 2.5 range up. Mom's lipstick gives 3.75 for some reason, though each do have a unique addition to them. Mom's heels actually deal contact damage, Mom's underwear spawns 3 to 6 blue flies, and Mom's lipstick drops a random heart. The heart it spawns actually adheres to heart spawn conditions, meaning if you bring it to the Cathedral Super Secret Room, or the Blackheart Super Secret Room, it'll either spawn an Eternal or Black Heart. This item is based off the 1981 film Mommy Dearest, specifically the line, "No wire hangers ever." It's also a nod to the highly dangerous method to self-induce abortion.
It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining.
Do I run over this liberal, or do I drive around him? What do you think? I don't know. Think about the gas prices. Yeah, but then I'd have to back up and go around. Yeah. It all just kind of feels like a waste of time, doesn't it? I'm not going to do that. No, don't feel like it. Don't feel like I'm not going to do it. No, no.
the first active item on our list. An obvious fact is that using this item instantly killed Mom's heart, and it lives. With the epilogue ending, where the Bible knocks her out, being a hint to try it. You also likely know that using it on Satan instantly killed you, but for some reason this doesn't apply to the lamb. Did you also know that in the original Isaac, using this item against Isaac also killed you? Lastly, this is another item that counts towards 2 transformations, this time being Bookworm and Seraphim. This item is actually one of the books in the Satanic Bible, and if you've ever wondered what Belial means, it's just a name used for Satan in some Jewish and Christian texts. I personally always wondered why it gives you an increased angel chance. I think it might be something to do with the fact that angel worms are the path to Mega Satan. Lastly, with Birthright and Judas, you can carry up to 3 active items without School Bag, with Book of Belial, Book of Virtues, and 1 active item. The Necronomicon is based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. However, the actual look of the item and the missing page trinkets / items associated with it are based on the Evil Dead films. If you combine Poop and Midas's Touch, when you use Poop there's a chance it'll be a gold one. This will actually happen 100% of the time at 7 luck. Additionally, the Poop is more useful than you think. You can use it to bridge grabs with a bomb, and you can completely destroy retractable spikes and red poops with it. Lastly, this item has a very rare chance to drop from the buckets in the Dross.
Strike!
Not much to say for this guy. The only real interesting thing is that in his pedestal sprite and for Souls card, he's got perfect teeth. Though when you actually use him in game, it shows he's missing one.
Play of the game. Sextuple kill.
Here's a funny one. When Repentance first released, Tammy's head was removed from the golden chest pull. However, it wasn't added into any other item pull besides the Crane Game one, making it literally near impossible to get this item for a while. This item's description originally lied to you, as before Repentance, it was Mass Fear, despite the effect of this item always being freezing enemies for 4 seconds. This was eventually changed to Mass Paralysis. Here's a fun trick. Kamikaze is tied to your invincibility frames normally, meaning you can't use it while you're invincible. However, if you have Skull Bag and another active item, you can spam swap to use Kamikaze as much as you want. This item's description was changed to Mass Fear, making me wonder if Edmund originally screwed up and swapped the description for these two accidentally. Its original description was gross. Lastly, it kinda got buffed in Repentance and now spawns 1 blue fly upon use. It still sucks though.
2, 3, 4!
Tell me what to do when you're love.
This item actually synergizes with a lot of tier effects. Here's some on screen.
You are
The buffoon is flummoxed.
Contrary to popular belief, this item can't actually teleport you into the I Am Error room. There was also a random patch note that stated the item could be influenced by Isaac's direction when moving, though this was never planned and was put in the patch notes by accident. Also, fun fact, we skipped item ID 43. Yumheart is the only item in the game that 2 characters start with, excluding Eden, obviously.
I don't need to worry about my games. Working for Nintendo has given me a huge benefit in the paychecks just for being there. You're only broke compared to me, you indies. Whoa. What did I say? Fucking idiots, shut the fucking...
This item does a ton. For starters, it gives a flat +1 luck. It also increases room drops, payouts on machines and beggars, and turns bad pills into their good counterpart. Though unlike PhD, it doesn't actually identify them. Funnily enough, if you pick up false PhD, it just reverts pills back to normal. This item is based on Super Meat Boy, and the remote the Doctor uses several times throughout the game. Also, surprise quiz! If you have the battery and you use the remote twice quickly, what happens? Take your time. Well, the answer is simple, it cancels the missile drop entirely.
All in a day's work. Job done. Let's hit the bar!
So, the name itself is based on Cupids, obviously. Those guys who shoot arrows to make people fall in love. Which, if you think about it, is really creepy. Anyhow, the reason it gives pierce is due to the fact that Cupid's arrows pierce into its target, going through their heart. You know, the whole arrow through the heart imagery. Despite its name though, it doesn't charm. Also, the costume for this item never made sense to me. Like, I sort of get it in a way, but I also don't understand it at all.
I'm a fire in my laser!
Here's a fun combo. Since Shoop the Whoop's charge isn't wasted until you actually fire it, if you pair it with Broken Remote, well, congrats, you can now teleport forever. Also, because the joke is genuinely years old at this point, here's a history lesson. The origin of this joke is an ancient Dragon Ball Z meme, which is now 16 years old, with Cell firing a laser from his mouth, and the lovely quote, "I'm a fire in my laser." I personally believe the reason that Envy drops this item is due to the fact he sort of has the whole meme shtick about him. He can drop troll bombs, with the troll faces, and has poker faces on his last heads. Steven originates from Edmund's 2009 flash game Time Cuck. It is also the only damage upgrade that is just a straight damage upgrade, having no additional stat increases or secondary effects. This item's sprite actually contains Satan in it. Looky there, he's hiding. The 2 spikes at the top are his ears, then you've got his eyes and his mouth. Also, at one point in time, apparently in the game's files, the item's photo was referred to as Pissogram. Beautiful. Well, if you enjoyed all those fun Isaac facts, be sure to... and...